So what I'm going to start is we are going to start with the bench. First, does anybody already familiar with bench? Please raise your hand. Anybody know? Everybody use bench now? How many people use bench? No one? My goodness. Anybody know how many commands in bench? Huh? Rusap, how many? Do you know? Well, the creator doesn't know himself, so we also don't know. But I see it as the bench cheat sheet. It was 34 command for configuring ERPNext. So right now, what are we going to do is we are trying to, as a basic for the developer training, we are trying to make one module that we can extend. So that's my topic for the bench training. So basically, if you see bench, it will be like this. Let's say if you have this is a PC, well, your server, it will always have an OS, operating system. And on the operating system, you always have this layer, what you call frappe. So, it's okay? Huh? Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry. So, bench command is usually we do for interacting from the OS. No use. It's okay. So we are using to interact from the operating system with the frappe itself. So this is the main use for the bench. So how to configure the frappe, how to use it, how to start, how to backup, how to restore, how to do initialization of a new module. We start with the bench. So a definition: bench is a command line utility that helps you to install apps, manage multiple sites, update frappe. Well, my favorite bench command is bench update. That's the best. Every bench update, I get new things. So I'm always eager to see bench update. Okay, but we'll do bench update, but we can just do it here. But please, this is a warning, don't do it on your production side. If you do bench update, I'm not taking the risk for the production side, you know. So, okay, next slide. So if you're already familiar with ERPNext, we have a easy install, like a script that you can just put some command in your terminal, and it will install ERPNext automatically. But for anybody who like willing to do the hardcore path, has anybody done the manual install yet? Anybody? Wow, great. Even I cannot do that. So if you are doing the manual install, I think you will go to the bench more, because you know usually we have more of the bench command is on the installation side also. So okay, next. So this is the basic command for the bench for the manual install. But yeah, we are not covering this one. We are not covering installation because we believe that this is well documented in the YouTube or in the internet. You can just do it yourself. But we will start from the frappe bench. So basically we'll start from the frappe bench. Okay, so we have the install script here. We have two scripts. One is for the developer. So basically what's the difference with the production servers? The developer is when you install the developed version, it will not start automatically. It will not make the server start it by itself. Well, and if you go for production side, then it will go automatically out of the box when you install it. That's like that. And if you don't have any VirtualBox image, you can ask for the staff to have the VirtualBox image. Okay, next. And okay, so what we are going to do is we are trying to do a new sites for the apps. So if you are a developer and you're trying to make a new module, well, Rusap say no app, so I will just say module. So what you need is your container of a site. So basically this site is the place where you put your apps. So the apps will be here. Will be the module. So if you know ERPNext is one module which is located in the site, which is run under the Frappe framework. So this is the logic behind ERPNext. So if you would like to make a new so you always have to get the site. Why this is different? Because site, we can have a multiple site for one server. Let's say site 1. Site 1, port 80, HTTP. Site 2 is, let's say, 8400 HTTP. So this configuration, this is site 1, 80, 8400. You can have two ERPNext instance and your own apps also. So you can have a multiple sites in one OS, in one system, in one server. The difference is the site. Okay? So we'll try to do this at the first one. So we'll make a new site. So, okay. So we'll make a new site. It's called testing site. So we make a new site. It's called testing. Okay. So for that, we are creating our, we have the MySQL here, right? So we input the MySQL admin password. So it will creating a new site for us automatically. Well, this is the nice thing of ERPNext. It will create the prerequisite all for the site itself. And then we have to decide the administrator password for the site. This will be the administrator password for the website itself. Okay, and then how to choose the site that we are going to develop. So we have to use bench use site. So we are using this testing as our development site. Okay, and then after you use the testing, you should enable the developer mode 1. So that's the basic. Before you do anything configuration from the site itself, you have to enable the developer mode 1. So that site is open for customization. Okay, so if you set the developer mode 1, what will change in the background is, okay, so what happened in the site config JSON, this is the database name and password, and it will create this one, the developer mode 1. So you can start customizing on your site. Okay, and then after that, there is 2 ways to install your apps. The first one, your module is you can create or you can pull. So basically, if what is pull is, let's say you have another apps, let's say my apps, from the Git repository. So we use bench get app, and then you should put the Git repository. And then it will start cloning, and it will put your apps here. Well, it needs internet, so sorry. So basically, this will pull all everything that you make in the Git into the sites of ERPNext. It will create all the CSS, the JS, and everything, the controller. So you can use this site, and you can already start using your apps inside the ERPNext. This is how basically we developers share our work within each other. So when you get app and you install app in your site, you can always bench update, and your friend will always do git push, and your other friend will always do bench update, and it always get your latest release from whatever your friend do. So like that. Okay, coba buka site-nya. So after this is finished, we can actually open to the site, and we can see that that we can see that the apps is already there. So we do, well, this is normal setup and everything. So there, after you get the apps installed in the ERPNext, the apps will be available on your ERPNext, and you can just install. So it will be available there. If anything wrong, please correct me, okay? No, this one is we are using the normal site. So basically we're installing alongside the ERPNext. We just get our app, and we just try to add it alongside the ERPNext. But we can also do another site. So we'll do that later. Okay, now we are going to make a new site, and we are going to make a new app, which is on a different port. Okay, so bench new site. We are not using testing anymore, so we are using the other alternate site. Site to local.
And the ERPNext will manage to create a database.
Yes.
Automatically.
Yes.
The
If
name
you
of the database is we can change, or it has to be like as created. The name is like some numbers, right? The name of the database.
yeah,
The
the database will be automatically created.
but the name of the database we can change, or we just leave it like that.
We just leave it like that.
Okay.
Okay, so we are already creating a new site here. So let's make this port on 8400. 84 berarti ya. Bench set. So this one we use bench set Nginx port with the site itself, site to local, and it should be running on 8400. Yes, and then use that site to local. So we use, before that we have to always do a sudo service nginx reload to reload the configuration from the nginx itself. Okay, can we use the site to local? So let's say we create the new apps. We don't do pull. We don't get apps from the Git. So we try to do ourselves a new app. So let's say we make a new app. Let's call the selain testing apa ya? Training. So let's make a new app. The new app will be called training. So when we create the app, we have to fill all this, the app title, training, and then the description by itself, training app, and then the publisher, yeah, you can write anything. the email, all your information for your own apps. Okay, so we are going to put this app, the training app, in the site 2. So we will install the app, bench site 2 local. We will define the site first, and then we will install the app that we just make, the training, inside the site 2 local. Install app training. So after this is done, we can try to bench restart. So bench restart is also, it will stop all the background worker, and it will start a new background worker. So it will reload all the configuration from the ERPNext. Okay, so we can go to the apps. So this one is empty app at the port 8400, different sites. So it's much easier setup than the ERPNext. So on this new site, so in this new platform, site local, our own app, we can start doing customization. So usually, so on this, it will be a micro, let's say on this side, we have our app training. So on the top of the training, it will be the doc type. It will be the report. It will be the, well, basically everything there. So as a developer, you will start developing in this. The doc type, the report, maybe the page, everything is there. Okay, so install our training. The training is already installed, as you can see. And then we can start creating a new doc type. Let's say we create a new doc type. Doc type list. So it's full Frappe, no ERPNext doc type. So we can start creating in the module training. So as a developer, you will start making a new doc type in your own training module. Okay? Oh yeah, developer mode-nya belum ya. Okay, sorry, we forgot the developer mode one. Okay. Okay, let's see. We are just trying to do a simple form. So we'll do a name card form, maybe a name, your last name, and then your gender, female, male, select, female or male, enter, yeah. Anything else? Your address. And then notes, remarks, keterangan apa ya? Remarks. Okay, that will be long text. Okay, then we save it. Then we can create our new doc type, name, for apa kartu nama, name card. Okay, so once this done, reload maybe. There, your apps will be there, your module will be there, and there will be already a name card. So when you click the name card, you can already have this form already done. So I'm not going to go deeper into this one, but I'm going to go to how to back up this. So we have to back up this one. After you do something, you have to back up. So back to the bench. So we have to do a bench backup. So we are trying to from site 2, we are moving to site 3. So we are trying to back up the apps, the module, and we try to restore in site 3. So pakai data. So we'll put some data inside, so you can understand how the bench backup will back up all the configuration and the data itself, and then it will restore in your another site with your data. Okay, so the thing is already back up. So bench new site, site 3 local. Okay, then from the site 2 backup, we do a restore to the site 3. Okay, ganti portnya dulu ya. Uh, 8080. So every time you do bench backup, it will be saved in the sites, and then sites 2 local, the folder, and then it will have the private folder, the backup, and this will be our database SQL GZ, the backup one. So we are trying to restore this file into our site 3. Backup everything, basically like dump everything on a file. Yes, that's backup. Different than get up. If yeah, as a file, yes. So on the site 3, we restore the training app. Already restored in the site 3. And then you do migrate. Migrate is basically you pull all the configuration from W restore it on the site 3. So if you see at the ERPNext, when you create a site, it will be there. But when you create the apps, let's say our training module, the training module will create all of this config. And then when we create the doc type, it will be creating inside the training doc type folder. And the doc type will be here. So when we create the name card, it automatically will create the JavaScript. It's empty one, but you can configure the JavaScript later, the JSON one. All the data, JSON is basically all the data that we put into the database, it will be here. And then name card, the Python one, the Python script. Yeah, and then it also create the test file because we are in the developer mode 1, so we also create the test file, the card, the card one, the name card test. So I think that's cover all the basic bench. So we learn how to make a site, make an apps, get an apps from outside from the Git, and then we create the new apps, and then we back up the apps, and then we restore the apps somewhere else, like that. I think that will cover my presentation already. If you have any question.
The app that you make, is it can be completely different than ERPNext, or can it be related to ERPNext, or how it is? By the ERPNext, I meant maybe other apps, because ERPNext itself is an apps, but if we make several apps, can it be completely different or related or whatever? Thanks.
So the question is, if you make this module, so your module, can you connect it to the ERPNext? That was the question. Either way. Either you can connect your module to ERPNext,
or completely,
or you can have a standalone apps that doesn't need any ERPNext.
Yes.
The answer is yes, you can. You can make a new, basically you can make any new module on your apps that is not related to ERPNext. That is the answer. Let's say, I'm taking one example, let's say the education, right? Education, before it's like not really related to ERPNext, right, Saurabh? Yeah, and then at some point they decided to integrate their module, the education module, into the ERPNext. So it can, how to say, update both way, like that. Okay. For that, we will have another session for that, for how to connect your apps to ERPNext and back, let's say. Yeah, but
Can you show me for the developer, for example, we have a running production side, right? And
yes.
then how to use the bench to work on the developing the new module or some features development without as a separate site, and then again to integrate to the production.
Okay.
Is that
yes.
any comment for the bench comment? For
Well,
that?
actually, I just showed you. That's how we.
Oh, the copy,
No, so basically.
the backup stuff.
Okay.
How's the workflow then?
So let's say you have a production server.
Yes.
And then it will be running, well, this is site. It will be running ERPNext.
Yes.
This one, right?
Yes.
And then you have another, let's say, developer. PC, right?
Yes.
And you're also running Frappe site. And then you're also running ERPNext.
Yes.
Okay, if you want to change in ERPNext, basically you have to fork ERPNext first, and then you have to do something like how to say, a change in the code here, and then you have to do let's say a pull request, because the maintainer for the ERPNext is the Frappe team, right? Like that, Rusab? Yeah. But if you want to make your module,
yes,
let's say
the app.
warehouse module, that you want to extend the capability of ERPNext, so you can ask your developer to write the warehouse module. After that, you can push it to the Git. I think we'll have another session for Git, I think. And from this Git, you can pull to, so you can pull the Git into your production server.
Oh, I see.
That's
That's
the
the
logic.
flow.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
For sample that your training module, is there any requirement that if you want to build like the structure, or there is a config file that I don't have any idea that how to build the custom module? Is there any requirement, like you must using Python also?
So ERPNext, when you make a new module, it will create this file on your doc type. So basically, so ERPNext process has two. This one is the client side. This one is the server side. Okay. All doc type will have a template empty for the server side, which is called py, and then they will have the process empty file for the JS file, which is JS, JavaScript, and Python. So if you want to define the process is server side, you do a customization in the py script. Let's say name card py. This is the Python, so you can write there, start working in the Python side, the server side of the ERPNext, or you can do the client side, name card JS. Yeah, so you can start working in the JavaScript side. That's the structure of one doc type. Consequently, you can add the HTML file. Let's say you can add the namecard.html also there. Let's say new file. Yeah, add file. Name underscore card.html. It will, but this one will be based on Jinja. Like that. Okay. Huh? Yeah, we'll cover it on the next session. I'm just introducing the, how to say, the framework, the basic, and how to say, the building blocks, the structure. Okay, if there is no more question, so I'll wrap it out. Thank you very much. Thank you.